Progress looks a little different this week. The collar is complete and the Agnes sweater vest is officially underway, though perhaps not at a pace I originally had imagined. I have 14 of the 25 squares finished, and instead of pushing forward quickly, I decided to pause and test the fit. There have been consistent comments about the neckline running small, and rather than discovering later that adjustments are needed, I wanted to see what that might mean for my version. So today, we're looking at early construction decisions before anything is permanently joined. Now, let me show you what I've been working on this week. Hello, my name is Shannon, and I'm the creator here at Platinum Knots. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Okay, so let me share with you why progress looks so much different than I originally thought it would. When I sat down this week and started crocheting my granny squares, I had crocheted the very center, which doesn't take very long at all. And I had those prepped and ready. So then when I sat down to start constructing the granny squares, I just am amazed at how long it took me to finish one square. In fact, I'm not sure I even finished one square in that amount of time. Let me show you here. So in the first session, I sat down, like I said, I already had the first center square finished. So I was just adding rounds. Then, as I was going along, my hands started just to kind of cramp up and get tired. So I think I did three, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 2.5 rounds, and I had to put it down and come back later. Then when I came back, I still was not able to finish that granny square. In total, it took me 25 minutes just to make 4 rounds of my 5-round granny square. So, needless to say, this is going to move along a lot slower than I had anticipated, which is okay. I knew something had to give, and I'm okay with just relaxing and letting the pieces come together as my hands see fit. So now, let me share a few more things that I worked on this week. So one of the other things that I noticed as I was making my granny squares is that I didn't completely love my color palette. I know I was working out of my stash, but even if it is just out of my stash, it still needs to excite me so that I want to wear the item. So let me show you the one that I took out. So this one is the one that I decided to take out. This is the taupe. And the color just kind of threw all the other colors off. And I'll show you what I mean. So the color there, it just didn't make anything pop. It just made everything real dull. I was not excited about it. Same in this one. So then I started looking around and I couldn't find anything that I wanted from my stash. So I actually went shopping and I found a color that works perfect. So this is called Cerulean Sea. It is the Bambootiful line, which is I have 2 other colors in this line. So that's the first thing that I did. Now let me show you what it changed. I haven't finished these squares, but let's see. Look at the difference. What do you think? Makes a huge difference. That color just, I was not loving it, and I knew it would bother me. Here's the other one. So with that decision made, I feel so much better about the color palette. The next thing that I did is I took my 8 squares and I safety pinned them together to make sure that they were going to fit me around the waist. Now in the original pattern, she does a 4 round square. I'm actually doing a 5 round square, which gives me an extra 1/2 inch on each side. So when I actually put those together and then put it around, it did fit. So I will not have to make any adjustments for that one. However, as I was doing research on the pattern and other people that were making it, there seemed to be an awful lot of talk about the neck. Pulling that head down over, or pulling that neck down over their head was just fitting really tight. So then the next thing I did is I pinned it into the shape that it needed to be. So I am noticing as I pinned it that some of these corners just are not quite matching up. So I need to take that into consideration when I do look at it once it's on me. So I'm going to take it off of here and I'm actually going to try it on for you. And we'll take a look at it together. So as you can see here, you see the corners aren't meeting up. I thought I did pretty good putting them together, but I think when it stretched, it just kind of pulled them. So I need to take that into consideration. So let me put it on. See how it goes. What do you think? I do feel that it's going to be just a little bit snug. So when she makes the neckline, she has you go in and you are going to round out these corners. So that's going to take a little bit more space out of the neck as well. And then you have the knit ribbing on the inside. And I feel the sweater I have on is kind of snug for me. So I think with a 1 inch, it's just really going to cut into my neck and make it just a little bit too small. So I do believe that is going to have to be something that I work on. I will have to come up with a way to make that neckline just a little bit bigger. In saying that, I think I'll probably work from the neck, the top down. Yeah. I'll have to work that neck first to make sure that I'm comfortable with it before I move on. So here's some more of those squares that I changed out those colors in. Let me know what you think. Do you have a favorite one? I'm really leaning towards the this one here. I really like those colors. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite. Okay, so then, let's see. My next one is how short the sweater is. So looking at this, the sweater that she made is only 3 squares long. So there's one that sits on your shoulder, and then it's 3 squares long after that. So let's take a look at where that'll land on me. So if I put this to there, yeah, and then it'll have probably a 1 inch to, well, that's hitting the top of my, so I may just have to make a larger edging. I think, yeah, that's what I'll do. So with those decisions made, I think that's a good start, and that's where what I'll be working on this next week. So I'll likely need to modify the shaping just a little bit before I do any permanent seaming. I'm glad I paused now to test the neckline before moving forward. Fit decisions made now will shape the entire garment. Next, I'll refine the opening and permanently join the small sections and evaluate the structure in the drape. The vest is evolving and at a pace that I can keep up with. I'll share the next stage with you soon. If you're following the Platinum Rose collection, I've linked the full playlist below so you can see how the season began.